Hello everyone, welcome to the Captain Swan podcast number 66. We will be discussing episode 4 of season 5, The Broken Kingdom. I'm Serena, Savior Out on Tumblr, and these are the people with me today.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm you. You brought me home.
Hi, I'm asleep.
That's usually my line.
I'm sorry, I had to. Hi, I'm Mai, and I'm close to 1,000.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm to the end of the world or time. And hey, at 66 we can retire.
Hi, I'm Ro, and I'm Ginny Jing Streeta on Tumblr.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I'm Mind Your Helm on Tumblr.
Okay, so who had bet on Arthur being a huge creeper because he just won a bunch of money?
We all did.
But, I mean, okay, we knew he was a huge creeper, but we didn't know the extent. Oh my god.
I told you he was going to put a spell on Gwen.
Holy crap.
I told
Holy.
I suspected there was something up there because she went from being like, you need to stop messing with the sword and come back to your life to, it's all about the sword.
It didn't make sense in the first episode where she was all like obsessed with the sword. It's like, what is with you? I don't understand. That was like the big clue.
We knew something was off, something was going on there, but I don't think anybody suspected that it was that.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, Rumple hadn't stooped that low until very, very late when he, sent Belle to an alternate universe.
I mean, I thought that the connection between the dagger and the dark one was bad. I didn't think that a normal human being could have that kind of obsession over the thing.
Honestly,
Jesus.
he went down, and he went down fast. Because as Michelle said, I mean, Rumpel, as shitty as he was used that as the last resort.
Because seriously, not counting
He used it as his first resort.
Yeah, not counting the 28 years of the curse, this was 5 years ago that he pulled the sword out of the stone.
Yeah, it's really confusing. They released the timeline, but I don't really understand what the fuck that timeline is.
Basically, it's 5 years minus the 28 years of the curse.
It was before Snow and got married. Because he left the kingdom and he went and married them and met them. So they really should have put in the quotations before the first curse or something like that.
It didn't make any sense. And
they posted the thing that it's that the stuff with Lancelot and Gwen going to see the Dark One was 1 year before Lancelot married Snowing. It was on Twitter.
No, but
they had Andrew Chambliss with the little diagram.
I know, I saw that, but they should not post stuff on Twitter. That everybody doesn't look at Twitter, so they should really post.
Well, it was too hard to explain in a little blurb.
Well, if it's too hard to explain, then,
This was 1 year before Snowing got married.
Then they should have said 1 year before.
Then 2 years. Then 2 years between Snowing getting married by Lancelot and the curse. Then 28 years of the curse. Then 2 more years since the curse is broken.
I know. That's very complicated for people to understand. Even William Shatner was like, "What?"
William Shatner's not that bright.
No, but I know, but like, I think they could have, did that better.
Blanket said that it was 5 years ago, and they didn't mention anything about the curse, and we're all like,
"Yeah,
wait a minute. There's no way that Rumpel could come to them when they called because he was in Storybrooke at the time."
But that's the thing. And everyone in Storybrooke was frozen in time, so it's like 1 year. So it's like no time passed from the time the curse broke from the time the curse was cast and the time the curse was broken. Except for Regina, who experienced every day and got bored as hell, and Emma, who grew up.
And Henry.
I was expecting Arthur to be shady. I wasn't expecting him to be an asshole.
A rapist asshole. Don't forget the rapist. He's a rapist asshole.
Yes.
Yes, between him and Graham Chapman, I would rather Graham Chapman. Monty Python.
So that's 3 now. rapists on this show: Regina, Selena, and Arthur.
And the first
That's right.
male rapist, just to switch things up.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, at least they went back to the norm. And I really hope that Gwen gets to kick his ass. And Emma too.
I hope so.
Yes.
I mean, I want his ass to be kicked by Emma and Gwen at the same time.
Although now I'm worried that
Evidently there will be a
Lancelot's dead.
line.
I don't know what's going on with Lancelot.
I mean,
we don't know.
you could even see it in the flashbacks when he was getting bullied by Kay. He's like, I don't care what Kay does to me because
He's his obsessive little 10-year-old.
because it's already been, the prophecy is already there that one day I will be king and you
Okay, I have something to say about the prophecy. It came from my friend Danny. Okay, those are we heard that it's Merlin's prophecy, but we don't know that Merlin meant Arthur.
No, I doubt he did.
I mean, we know that he meant an orphan. We'll pull out the story. Arthur, obviously, in his obsessive little mind, he should have held himself into the role.
No, but seriously, didn't we all remark that it was weird that Arthur and Killian both have dark hair and blue eyes?
Yeah.
What are the odds that the prophecy says something about a dark-haired, blue-eyed guy pulling the sword out of the stone, and Arthur just assumed it was him? Or Merlin assumed it was Arthur, and turns out, oops, nope, I fucked up.
Well, all the prophecy actually said.
Hey, Merlin doesn't fuck up, okay? Merlin is the greatest sorcerer of all time.
Well, what do you think? Like that, that Merlin gave the wrong prophecy to Emma now because don't pull out the sword and the stone. Should go to Arthur now.
No, I think hers is actually true because remember, I'm pretty sure he meant it for Dark One.
Here's the problem. Whoa. Here's the problem with Merlin and this prophecy. We don't know the exact wording of the prophecy.
And we don't
know what
know that it
Arthur's
comes
saying
from
about
Merlin.
it. So we're not going to know any of this until Merlin gets out of the damn tree.
And here's the thing. We don't know that it comes from Merlin exactly. Because we know we have Arthur's words that it comes from Merlin.
Who's a lying liar who lies.
Arthur is a shady motherfucker.
Well, he heard it from a tree, so he could have been like the Dark One, fucking with him.
The only thing we know for sure right now is that it was said that Camelot was to be ruled by an orphan king. And if people really are going for this whole Killian supposed to be king story, I mean, Killian does fit that general description, but then so do a lot of people. So
yeah.
You really can't say for sure until Merlin comes out of the tree. Now, I know...
Well, except for the fact that, we have spoilers.
I know a lot of people thought that... I know a lot of people thought that Nimue was the one to banish him into that tree, but after this episode, I'd be willing... This past one, I'd be willing to bet that that Arthur may have put him into that tree or did something.
Again?
No, I think he was already in the tree when he was a kid.
Little boy,
but he made sure that he didn't.
Yeah, he was already in the tree. The tree wasn't as big.
Yeah,
I'm
going to assume that he's making sure he doesn't come out of the tree.
Yes.
Well, this is what doesn't make sense. When they first got there, what he wanted them to do was help him get Merlin out of the tree. Now he doesn't.
Well, yeah, because he needs to put up appearances.
But there has to be a thing where he did come out of that tree because Arthur was a little boy. There was a tree, but then.
No, he said that the prophecy came to him in a dream.
Yeah.
Merlin can talk to him in a dream. Probably.
So now
Merlin's all
he
powerful.
doesn't.
No, but that.
And sexy.
Arthur was a little boy. There was a tree that was many, many years ago. But then he comes to Emma in 1983 or something like that. There's a time gap here. Somewhere between where they're seeing the big tree and the little tree, Merlin got out of the tree and then went back in the tree.
Or Merlin talking to Emma was an astral projection across realms.
That could also be where it is within his range of awesome powers.
Okay,
so he's afraid that if
way
they,
out there.
I mean, he managed to be the spooky voice talking to the apprentice in
Yeah, but
in
that makes
that
sense with
cave.
the voice. But now he's a body with a face, and we're going to see
Astral
that.
projection.
In a very sexy
Master.
face, don't
Astral
forget that.
projection.
so
Sexy
now
face.
he's afraid that if they're
Not
able
really
to,
there.
he's afraid if they're able to get Merlin out of the tree, then that will mean that Merlin will, for the most part, let the cat out of the bag and tell him that Arthur is shady.
Well, do we
Let's
now
hear it
think?
Well, Merlin doesn't. Maybe Merlin doesn't know that Arthur's shady yet.
I think he does.
All Merlin will have to do is take one look at the
Well-
fucking kingdom, and he'll be like, "This wasn't the way it looked when I left."
Well,
And he knows because magic.
But how does he know that? Well, I guess he's gonna know because I'm just
And
gonna
if
show
he
him
was the one that
dagger.
truly did lay that prophecy down, he would know exactly who it was that was supposed to pull that sword. So
This is why.
If it was never supposed to be Arthur in the first place, then he'd be like, "Why the hell do you have that sword? It's not supposed to be
This
you."
is why I think that it's possible that Merlin and Emma concocted some cockamamie plan to defeat the
Yes.
darkness and Arthur, and that's why Emma's dark.
Yeah,
She has to
Although-
embrace the darkness
yes,
in order to
1,000
defeat it.
times.
Although you do
Possible.
have to remember, Arthur was the only one who was able to pull the sword without turning into a pile of dust. So there is that.
But he could have put a spell on it to make that happen.
Yeah.
No, because
It's his
he
sword.
didn't.
It's his sword. It's Merlin's sword.
Really? Because
I
it's got
think-
Killian's name on it. Oops.
Because Merlin used it to tether the darkness to the dagger, which is part of the sword. So he had to use it at one point in his life, and then whatever happened to it broke in half. But I don't know. We'll probably find out soon.
Honestly, though, you could tell even from childhood that this boy was like so determined, because he had already said, I will find that sword, I will become king, and you will be my queen, without really even giving her a choice. He was just like saying, yes, we will marry.
I think
blah,
they
blah,
were
blah.
the implication is that they were in love when
Yeah.
they were little. And Guinevere did love him until he became an obsessive,
I don't know
neglective
who it
jerk.
was in the fandom that described it, I think. But somebody described the three different types of process. First, there's the light. There's like the first love and the childhood love where it's pure when they're kids. And then there's the petals that fall on the same rose for Lancelot and Gwen because they're truly in love, but they can't do anything about it, so they're fragmented petals. And then there's the full roses for Captain Swan because they're in love and all that and all that nice stuff.
Well, I just
But I
think
mean-
Gwen and Arthur are just like Rumble.
Oh, and they are.
They are the
Yeah.
Rumble.
They are in that true
But the
world.
only difference is that she was not, she chose not to coddle him. She didn't want to condone, she refused to condone what he was doing. So she went off on her own to find that dagger and put it into it so she could get her husband back. Because she was tired of seeing him lose himself to this dagger. I mean, I get that Arthur, because he came from a humble place, that his mother left when he was a child. He never really knew his parents. He was bullied because he came from literally nothing. He's fighting to hold on to what he's got, but what he's got is fake. I mean, all of it is fake.
Well, I mean, when Lancelot and Gwen went to that other realm or whatever, it led her with the glove to the dagger. So it's the same thing as Rumble. You mean his true love is this dagger?
Yeah, but here is, I mean, I didn't know that they could go worse than Rumble in terms of squeakiness. Top Hill was upon him, he went worse. Way worse. I didn't know that was possible.
Honestly, for the fact that Arthur's not a magical person, he is so much like Rumple, it's astounding. And I'm talking about Rumple before he became dark, because he came from literally nothing, and he's terrified that if the people find out that the sword is broken, that he'll lose his claim, and that they'll think that the prophecy was bunk, and that he really was not meant to hold that seat, and that he'll just get tossed out. That's why he never lets anybody see the sword unsheathed. He's literally terrified, and he's become so obsessed with finding it because he feels that's the only way that he can make his claim solid. That scene at her birthday party when she went in there to go talk to him, his eyes were wild and he was crazed, like he was like shaking her. Where is the dagger? I'm like, what is wrong with you?
But he has like no self-esteem at all. He doesn't trust his knights. He doesn't trust his wife. He doesn't trust his kingdom because he didn't tell anybody about this sword. It's just like he doesn't have enough faith in himself to be a good king unless he has the two pieces of the sword. It's like ridiculous.
I mean, you know, I really have to give it to Gwen because she didn't use the dust on the sword, but she could have used it on Arthur to quote unquote fix him, but she didn't because she wanted to be like that. And yet he goes and turns it around and does it to her. And I'm like, you know, Rumpel's done some shady shit and some stuff that I know that none of us like. And yes, he's abused Belle, but even that is like, that's the lowest of the low, dude. Even Rumpel wouldn't go that low.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he did in the
Well,
AU.
he did. He gave the fake dagger to her. That's kind of the same thing, almost.
And
yes, but I mean, to
universe.
put her under his thrall, even Rumpel wouldn't go that.
The alternate universe, people.
Yeah,
he sent
he
everybody
did.
to an alternate universe and made Belle be his happy housewife. Come on.
Yeah, but
well, yeah, that's true.
yeah, but
They are
at
the
least
same.
That's what I'm saying.
Arthur
at
and
least
Rumpel
it
didn't
was
get to
half.
Rumpel didn't get to that point until very late after he'd done a whole bunch of other shady shit. Arthur is starting out with the mind control.
Yeah.
And now he's done it to Snow and Charming.
Oh, that's
Snow and Charming. Now it makes sense why Emma was so pissed off.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Because
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
How
it
does
does.
it do? Because we have spoilers of Lancelot and Merida hanging out with Charming and hooking them. How did that get that way when, you know, they just said that we can't trust Lancelot?
No, listen. Just
We can always trust Lancelot.
Hold up.
He's Lancelot.
It's obvious from the little promo that we got that Snowing is going to try to convince Regina to hand over that dagger because they've been dusted, so they're totally in thrall. And if Regina doesn't listen, they're going to try and dust her and everybody else. I don't think it's going to work though.
No. Wait.
Which one are we talking about?
Wait, time out. Here's why Emma has every single right to be pissed at Snow, Charming, and Regina right now. You know why? Because they once again made a choice that directly involves her without her knowledge or consent. They told Arthur that she is the Dark One. They told Arthur they have the dagger. And Emma had no say in any of this again. So they are making choices that directly affect her, and she had no say in it. So she has every single right to continue to be pissed, whether or not she knows about the fake magic sand.
And then
I thought you were guys saying that they were doing that because of the sand. I don't think it's because of the sand. I think the sand gets broken.
No, because I mean, look at Guinevere.
Yeah, Gwen still thinks she's in love with Arthur.
Like, we have a spoiler of Merida and Lancelot hanging out with Charming in the woods. Where's that coming from? If he just said to everybody,
because Merida and Lancelot haven't. Wait, Merida and Lancelot haven't.
Or hooked up.
We don't know that they're not fighting. We just know they shot together.
Right,
maybe they're fighting.
Hold up.
What?
Even when the Camelot crew came over after the 6 weeks, obviously their dust was not broken because one, Guinevere was still all over Arthur. Where's the fucking sword? And his little bitch boy Squire took poison and died for him. And if he wasn't under thrall, I guarantee you he wouldn't have done it, no matter how loyal he might have been. So that dusting is still whatever. The only reason that Charming and Snowing's dusting doesn't appear to be working is because their memories have been wiped. If they still had their memory of what happened, they would still be in Arthur's thrall. So
no, I don't think.
Well, Arthur's gotten them to trust him anyway, even without the damn sand.
No, but
what I'm saying is that scene that Shannon's talking about with Merida and Lancelot and the Charmings and whatever, we don't know that they're working together. We don't know that they're not fighting. We just know they all shot together.
It literally doesn't look like they're fighting. If they're also Merlin's in that scene too.
Well,
So
maybe
he might.
Merlin fixed it.
But
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think they are in that. I think everybody's going to be like assuming, like people are saying, oh, that's why Emma says, like the Dark Swan is like, you failed me and blah blah blah. Is that they told her
But they did.
They did, but I don't think that's the issue. I mean, they might have.
I think that's part of
I
the
don't
issue,
think it's. I
definitely.
really don't.
what else could it be? Number one,
Okay,
they went and
Ken,
told
Ken.
Arthur without telling.
Maybe
without
maybe
asking her
not the
first.
whole issue, but it is definitely part of it.
Okay, but clearly
Well,
clearly at the end, Arthur doesn't kill her. Arthur doesn't make the dagger and the sword fall. So it can't be what fails her, because he clearly doesn't succeed. Something else must happen that pisses her off.
I think.
You know what? I can't believe.
We can't find an episode 4 that she's pissed off because of this reason. There's more to it. There's 5 or 6 more episodes of that. I think they resolve that.
I think this is where it starts.
Yes.
This is where it starts. Because now, first of all, they went and told Arthur that she was the Dark One without her consent. So they fucked that up. And so now Arthur knows. Then, as a result of this and trying to fix it, they wound up getting dusted. So now they're in his thrall. So now they're going to go and try to convince Regina to hand over that dagger. And if she realizes something's wrong, either they'll try to dust her and it'll work, and Regina will come under their thrall, or
I don't think that's going to happen because
so
we get Merlin, because Regina and Emma are working together to get Merlin out of the tree.
Hopefully,
and if Regina was dusted,
Regina
she wouldn't do
is
that.
smarter than that and will figure out that something's wrong and escape.
I cannot believe we're putting our trust in Regina.
I think it's all.
It feels bad. I mean, that just feels wrong, man.
I know.
I think it's all just going to start to spiral, and once they manage to get Arthur out of the tree, and then Merlin out of the tree, and whatever it is that they do, something bad happens before that curse is cast.
I think it's something that has to do with Killian.
And that's what causes her to really.
Yeah.
Well, we have a spoiler
herself.
of like Merlin and Emma going somewhere alone together. So I think that's where they're collaborating together. This plan. I think it's weird that they're alone together and not with anybody else.
I mean, there's very few
sexy people.
There's very few people right now, and if you got to look at this logically, there is very few people in that immediate group that can successfully cast the curse necessary to bring them back over.
That's why I'm worried that Lancelot is dead.
Snowing can't do it because they're sharing a heart. Regina can't do it because if she did, she'd have to sacrifice Henry, and she would never do. She would never, ever, 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 ever. So that's
Henry's got that spell on his heart now anyway.
Yeah.
And if Emma was to do it, she'd have to sacrifice Hook, and I doubt she would do it.
Okay, wait. Emma would also be sacrificing Henry. Let's all be real.
Yeah, let's face it.
And plus, like I just said, Henry has a spell on his heart, so his heart can't be taken. Again, thank God. Which is why I'm worried that Lancelot is deceased. I'm worried that Lancelot
I'm very
is dead.
worried about Lancelot.
But we've already seen Lancelot in Storybrooke.
No, we haven't.
Oh, we haven't.
We haven't seen.
Yes, we have.
Merlin.
No.
Where?
Holy shit!
Give me
yes,
this-
we have.
No, we haven't.
No.
Give me
Trust
the
me,
spoiler.
I would
and give me the
remember.
picture.
Lancelot and Merlin are the two people from Camelot who have not been spotted in Storybrooke.
Yep.
They're the only two.
Okay,
I'm sure
let's
I remember
start.
seeing Lancelot walking up Main Street. Not Merlin.
No?
No.
I remember seeing
No.
Merlin in a shot walking up Main. Yes. Oh my
No.
God.
Merlin? No.
No.
They haven't filmed in Stevenson at all for that.
Okay, so let's start with the question. Anonymous says, another great episode. Do you guys think this trend of good episodes will go on? Or will there be flops coming? Flops
I
coming?
honestly hope so.
Well, they
I'm
said this.
just surprised because my last 3 reviews have been possible.
I'm
have been
kind of
positive.
worried about
So it's
episode 5.
Yeah,
consciously-
everybody's like,
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not worried about episode 5. I'm worried about the double episode 8 and 9. That's what I'm worried about because that's the big adventure with Merida and Mulan and Red, and I'm like, why does this fit in here?
Yeah, and isn't episode 6 the adventure with Belle and Merida?
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah, that.
I'm kind of worried about that one too.
Hey,
that sounds filler.
I'm Meredith, like, dude, seriously, you're still with that guy. Hey, bub.
I'm worried, like you said, about 8 and 9 because I feel like, why is this here? Why is this necessary? Why are you wasting time? You could be filling these 2 episodes with really important things having to do with Dark Swan and with that plotline. Why? I do not give a shit.
Well, we know at
Merida
least one important thing with Dark Swan happens.
What?
At least one important thing with Dark Swan happens. Killian jumping off the roof.
Well,
that's
yeah,
an 8.
but I mean.
Yeah, but that's one scene.
I honestly don't give a shit about Brave and Merida. I could give a fuck less. So why are we having to watch 2 hours?
Well, we know that Arthur and I think Zelina are with them. So that's weird.
Yeah, that should be entertaining.
It should be kind of entertaining. I think Arthur's going to be going to the next extreme of insanity where he teams up with Zelina.
Yeah.
Well, that could happen.
But honestly, I knew one of that because Ruby and Mulan are back, so fuck yeah.
Which I don't understand. Like, is she? Because I guess Megan just she dyed her hair. So is she coming back?
Yeah, she has red hair.
Coming back.
She's a ginger.
So who will be Mulan's love interest if Merida seems to be going back to Camelot or whatever?
Yeah,
Red.
one of the
Red. My
Riding
section
Hood.
Ruby Lucas, yes, yeah.
Someone said that Merida Amy's last day is like Monday.
Well, neither of the 3 actresses are permanently
around.
Filming,
well,
so
no, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be Ruby. It's going to be It's going to be Mulan and Ruby. They're going to play with that in 5B, and then they're going to send them off into the sunset. We'll never see either of them.
Oh, but what about Ruby and Victor?
Yeah, we haven't seen Dr. Whale.
David Anders he's going to be in one episode, but he's busy. He's a regular on another show, so he can't be there for like an extended period of time.
He's with Tinkerbell now.
Yeah, which they're also trying to bring over too.
Okay, next question. Anonymous wants to know, what did you guys think of the Captain Swan scenes? Did you think they were as good as you thought when they were going to be from what you saw from the spoiler pictures?
Better.
They're better.
Absolutely awesome, but one thing.
No buts.
Stop pulling the camera away when they kiss.
That's their thing.
Jesus.
Here it works, okay?
Kiss they have, they gotta pan the camera up, and you're looking over them and out. It's like, can you stop? Can we get one close up? Is that okay?
I'm sorry. Film student here. Film student.
It was beautiful cinematography.
It's beautiful. You cannot
criticize
the cinematography because it's beautiful and it's meaningful to pull the camera back and see the field with them in the middle of the field full of pink roses with mean internal
middle mist flowers. They were middle mist flowers, not roses.
Okay.
I mean, I get why they did it for that one, but like for episode 4-3, when they kiss in the middle of the street, that really wasn't necessary for them to pull back.
Question. I don't think anybody's actually checked this out, but how many overhead kisses has Snowing had? The point of having the shot overhead is to denote how epic it is.
I mean,
like that's the point.
That overhead shot of them with that, it reminded me of the pilot episode of The Wedding for Snowing. It just did.
You know what CS Kiss I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the 360 shot. Like, give me that 360 shot, people.
Well, we always have next week's filming. It's in the
I mean,
street.
that whole
that will
scene,
be interesting
that
next
whole
week.
scene was absolutely
Oh, God.
perfectly shot. I mean, there was not one negative about that entire scene.
But I mean,
beautiful.
I don't know if I was more. I think I was more excited for Captain Cobra scene because that was just freaking cute and awesome, and I love
Swan
Colin's
Cobra, okay?
face.
Oh my God.
Emma was in that scene too.
Captain Cobra Swan was the best.
That was hysterical.
I just loved his face. He was so excited.
Killian's face was hilarious.
Like, we need more of that. I just need it all.
Like, I love the anticipation of her face of the worried mother, like, he's waiting to me, oh my God, he's got a girl, oh my God. Well, when the other one like, yeah, get it.
He's all proud stepdad.
But you know what? I can just envision it now. Sometime like 15 years from now, when their own child is grown, like if they have a daughter, their own child is grown up and meets some boy for the first time, and is too embarrassed to tell them, that she likes this kid. And probably a little afraid of all things, And she lies straight to his face, and he kind of looks over at her and goes, "Did she just lie to me?" No.
Yes, it's going to be reversed. Emma's going to be all excited, and Kelly's going to be like,
and Emma's going to go like, not so easy now, is it?
Well, you are Captain Hook. Well, yeah, but I'm her father.
Captain Cobra Swan for the win.
Totally.
Okay, let's go to the next question. Let's see. Okay, we have another anonymous who says, can we talk about how adorable Daddy Killian was? We just did. Okay, then...
Also, I have to say something. I'm going to nerd out at the moment. Okay. First, props on Violet for using horses to flirt. Good on you, girlfriend. I mean, that was a great move.
Yeah. And did you see that look Emma makes with her eyes? That little hussy.
And the scene where this horse, I think he was really well acted. The scene where she's where she's like afraid to get on the horse, and he backs away from her. Well, I mean the horse, or she. I don't know what the horse.
Can we talk about that?
And they used proper technique because you have to get to know the horse most of the time before you're gonna ride it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really properly done. So I was happy. I was very happy.
But let's talk about how she talked about a white picket fence house and their future together. We're investing in our future together. And now she has a white picket fence house. It's like,
the word future did not freak her out. She's all in. And
she was all smiley.
Like, oh, thank God.
Our future. I was like, he wants to marry her. He wants to marry her.
I would be surprised if they don't get married.
Yeah.
I mean,
which explains why she bought the house that she did.
Okay, let's be real. Emma did not buy that house. She took it. Dark Swan took it.
She has it has the white picket fence and all that. But my favorite part about the scene was when Bumple was there trying to freak her out. He didn't even skip a beat. He's like, Swan, get on the horse.
Yes.
Now.
Stop talking to the demon in your head and get on the horse.
Get on the horse. I appreciate that he doesn't treat her any differently, despite her being the dark one, unlike everybody else who keeps treating her like a piece of glass that's going to shatter.
Because he understands her the most.
And can we talk about the scene where he lied to everybody else when he said that she didn't say anything about what was happening?
Where he called her out on her stuff?
No. The scene with Regina and Snow and Charming, where he lied to Regina, and he said that she didn't say anything about what was going on with her.
Yeah, but I didn't really understand that whole dynamic. No, but I didn't understand the transition scene where they're standing up and hugging, and now she's on the floor. What happened there? I think they have a deleted scene somewhere where she falls on the floor.
No, I'm guessing he carried her. I'm gonna guess he carried her.
I don't think she was on the floor. I don't think she was on the floor because you could see the bed was behind her. It looked like she was on.
She was on a bench or something.
Some sort of bench that was next to the bed. I think
I thought it was the stairs that lead up to the bed. You know how some.
I think she's just emotionally, physically, mentally exhausted. I mean, you could tell she's not sleeping. She can't sleep.
Yeah. Well, Killian could have exhausted her in another way.
But fighting off this darkness has exhausted her, and it doesn't surprise me that he's trying to get her to rest, but she can't really sleep. So I mean, because she can't stop.
Get that at all.
No, but she confided in him that she hears Rumpelstiltskin, that she hears voices or whatever, and then he lays her down and everybody comes in and is all panicked about what's going on. And he literally lies to Regina and says she didn't say anything when he knows very well that she did. And she looks at him and is like, the look on her face is like, thank you for not, blabbing that to like everybody, because she doesn't want everybody to know that she's hearing voices, because it's just going to make them worry more. And so he kept that between them, and that takes a lot of trust, and that's a testament to how far their relationship has come. That then when they got to the stable and they were alone, he's like, okay, now you need to tell me exactly what's going on. And she just told him because she trusts him.
And that's why I think that something's going to happen to Killian and Camelot. Because for Emma to lose that last, because as long as Emma has Killian, she's okay. If she loses Killian, he's doomed.
Well, let's talk about how she has the rose in Storybrooke now. Like that transcends. Like she brought it over from Camelot. Like she kept that rose.
Well, it's a middle mist flower, and she put a spell on it so that it doesn't die after he picked it. And yeah, she still has it because she's sentimental. And we know Jennifer has said that one of her primary motivations behind all this selfish dark crap is Killian. So.
I'm telling you, something happened to him. Something happened.
Or they wanted to do something to him, and she was like, "Oh fuck no," and just
considering the little bit of information we got last night, I'm starting to think.
Well, okay.
Did you read the morning spoilers?
No, I have not seen anything.
Okay, Colin filmed last night, so everybody stop freaking out where he went. He did film last night, and he filmed with Jen, so...
I was playing PS4 for most of the day, so I just came home to my phone and people were freaking out.
Okay, spoiler alert, Emma's in the red jacket again. She's back
I saw that. I honestly thought it was an old picture until I saw Robin.
Praise the Lord, past ammunition.
Yeah.
We already know that at least by 11 she goes back to being Emma again.
Because we did see.
The reason why everybody was freaking was because everyone was in the picture except Colin. We're like, what?
He came later. He could have been filming with Adam. I know. I got so many messages. It's like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Where is he? I'm like, my God, guys, please.
Well, I think the reason why they were wondering is because one of the PR people that was on set were saying that they were some of the crew is in wetsuits. And they were filming by a pond, so they were like, are we opening up a portal to the underworld? Are we?
But we have like 4 more. Well, we have 4 more days of them filming that episode, so you don't
remember, they don't film things in order.
Is Colin going to is Killian going to the underworld? Is he?
No.
I don't know. If anything, the underworld is coming to Storybrooke. It's just the way it goes. They're not going to release another set.
I'm going to say something that's also going to mean learning out. And it's going to be a pretty probably huge and popular opinion. I don't want Hades.
I don't either, but apparently we're getting it.
And there's a reason why I don't want Hades, because I love Hades too much. And they're going to portray Hades as the evil... I mean, the casting call that came out that everyone's saying is Hades, they have him as a suave, dapper guy. And they're like, dude, that's not Hades. Hades is the uber nerd of the Greek mythology.
Well, it depends on.
He names his dog. No, most of them, like 99% of the myths, have Hades as this huge nerd who grows flowers in the underworld and names his dog Spot.
The James Woods Hades got very popular with a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, common media has him as this evil guy, but the guy really is the lesser of the evils. His punishments were like, okay, do something intellectual, and as long as you paid his dues, you were okay. I mean, the Queen of the Underworld.
I'd just like to point out that Hades in the Percy Jackson books is the dapper gentleman guy. Bro, back me up.
Yep, that's true.
But also, and then you've got, my favorite Hades, and this probably dates me as being a really old fart, but my favorite Hades is from the Hercules
the cartoon version?
Television series. No, the Hercules television series.
The Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, I saw that one.
I remember that one.
Because that Hades was powerful, but at the same time he was very he wasn't like the other gods. The other gods were vain and they only cared about the humans, giving them tribute and whatever. Hades just, he was lonely. He was down there, and he had nobody, and when Persephone came into his life, he was happy, and that's all he really wanted was for someone to share his life
honestly,
with.
When somebody says fearsome ruler of the underworld, they're mostly talking about Persephone, because she was a kick-ass badass, and she's the one that, for those that don't know the story, Orpheus, if you know the basics of Orpheus, he has to go in the underworld to rescue his wife, and Hades was all for letting him go back with his wife, but Persephone is the one that came up with the idea that if he looked at his wife before he left the underworld, he would be stuck down there, knowing that he would want to be stuck with her, so they gained his music. So he was a manipulative goddess. I love her.
Okay,
what really impressed me the most about the Hades from the Hercules television series was that towards the end of the show, in the very last season of the show, their storyline was that the humans were starting to turn away from the gods, and the gods were losing their power because the humans were starting to exert their independence from this polytheistic world. And the only one that wasn't suffering from it was Hades, because Hades generally didn't care. No one prays to the god of death, right? So he wasn't that self-centered type of god. So all the other gods like Hera and Zeus and Ares were freaking out because they were losing all their power, but he was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna turn around and walk away and have my nice life. See ya.
Didn't Xena kill him?
No, he chose to walk away.
I'm pretty sure Xena killed him.
When all the other gods fell, he was the only one left, and he let them kill him because he generally didn't care.
Okay, we are going a bit off topic at this point.
Yes.
So we should continue with the question.
Okay, I'm looking, and the pink flower, that means longing.
Middle mist. Okay. I read that it's like the most rare flower.
Yeah, because it took me three or four times without finding right now, and that's the first explanation I can get, that it means longing. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think they chose it more for how rare it is than for the color. Because there are just two flowers in England, something like that. I read an article that the middle mist is a real flower, and at the beginning I thought they had made the name up, but actually it's a real flower.
And it's very, very rare, and I love the choice because of the color, the the contrasting color between the color of the flower and the color of the field. It was such a good contrast and just made those flowers just explode. Like it made the colors just pop. It was so, it made them being able to, the way they filmed that scene, all the flowers in that field, was just an explosion of color. It was so just gorgeous.
It's a collaboration with Leaf Lady.
What irritated me was that this freaking,
Okay.
haters are like, they
Can you hear me?
immediately assumed that the flower
Can
was,
you hear me?
was
Okay,
a,
because
was
my
a rose.
thing froze for a second, and I was like, wait, what?
What pissed me off was that the people that don't like Hook, they immediately thought that the flower was a rose, and they're like, roses don't grow that way. I'm like, is that all you really took from that scene?
It's a magical land, my God.
Apparently, apparently he's mean. He's forcing her to kiss him. Apparently, and apparently,
oh my God.
He's being rude to her.
She kissed him for the 8,000th
the voices in her head.
Okay, next question, please.
Yeah, we have a few more questions to answer.
I would also like to point out what she said. Well, now that we're alone.
Oh, God.
Okay, but we are using logic. These people are not, so that's fine. Anyway, next question. Anonymous wants to know, why do you think Emma chose making dream catchers as her Dark One hobby?
Because the thing about her, it's not, the fans made it about Balefire, but it was originally a thing about her. She's the one that recognized it in Tallahassee.
Because we know from Gold and we know from the past that it reveals memories, and no memories are gone, so it's a connection that they can use. Plus, it's, it's cool to look at that. That's kind of interesting.
Well, that dream catchers are supposed to take away nightmares, and Emma's literally living in nightmare right now.
Right, so they can use it for multiple reasons.
So I guess
none of which have to do with person.
No.
I guess
even Eddie said it. He's like, yes, as much as we like Neil, whatever. It also talks about memories. It has nothing to do with Neil. Neil is dead.
in her mind, she feels like it'll help to banish that rumple-bumple nightmare that's in her mind.
Right. But she can also now use it again for this memory thing. So it has two uses.
Apparently.
Okay, next question. What was Anonymous wants to know, what was your reaction to the news of the casting of Hook's father? And do you think his father will be a good guy or a bad guy?
I just want to say right now that Adam Crosdale is the nicest, sweetest man ever. He
tweeted everybody.
Yes. He tweeted and me. Replied to everybody, including me.
Including me.
It was so hilarious. And he wants Captain Swan babies too.
I don't think he realized at first what he was stepping into. I don't think
he did. No, he didn't.
When he got this role, and a lot of actors would have been like, "Okay, I'm turning Twitter off right now." But he just jumped into it, and he's like, yeah, come on, loving this shit.
He got like 2,000 or 3,000 new followers. And
honestly, in the crotch pic, and him that he posted a crotch pic.
Oh my God. Wow.
I don't think he realized what he did. Until he was like, oh.
No, he does. He does.
Look at the pants.
When he took the picture, he didn't realize it. It was only like 2 or 3 tweets later that he didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody pointed it out.
But he looks like Inigo Montoya. Why does Papa Hook look like the dude from The Princess Bride?
I know. When I looked at that, I was like, what? Well, that could have, I'm not jumping on board with that spoil, like that theory or anything like that. I just pointed out because his hair is a little bit longer, and so is Princess Bride, the one. So I was like, but he also in that movie, he needed to avenge his father. It was a father-son thing. I was like,
That's
I
the
don't
only
know,
thing.
maybe that's the only thing I'm holding on to.
That was the only thing that I didn't like. He looked awesome in the outfit, but that hair left a little something to be desired.
Was that a wig or is that his hair?
Is that a wig? Is that his actual hair?
Maybe his hair wasn't styled yet.
Not only that, but seeing Colin wearing the old pirate outfit,
which doesn't make sense.
I was like, please don't tell me he's coming upon his dad in like the Enchanted Forest during his time with Pan. I thought they were supposed to be casting Killian as a little boy.
No.
Well, they are. They're gonna have.
Wait. There's probably gonna be like a couple different things. There's gonna be Papa Hook with wee Killian and hopefully wee Liam. What the hell? And then but they also said the episode is going to center around a Captain Hook Evil Queen adventure, and Lana was on set when they took that picture. Somebody said that Lana was there.
I mean, if you've seen some of her Instagram,
it's probably. I mean, he would be wearing the pirate outfit when he meets Regina, so it'd be
It was the wrong outfit. He wore a velvet outfit. Vest.
Whatever.
No, but I think, they have Lana. She does post pictures of some of her Evil Queen outfits, and apparently she is wearing the same, purple velvet outfit that she does meet him in that episode.
Well, let's be real. When it comes to things that have to do with Colin's character, they've been kind of lackadaisical with the continuity this season for some reason.
Oh, really?
But Adam and Eddie were very explicit in that hot seat thing. They said one that we will see background between Killian as a child and his father. Two, that Liam would be there. I don't know as an adult or as a little child.
No, they said we'd see Liam again. They said we'd see Liam again. They didn't say it would be in that flashback. They just say we'd see Liam again.
Which tells me that this episode that Adam is in is not the only one that he's going to be in.
No, of course not. They wouldn't be keeping the contents of his role under wraps if this was the only episode he was in. That's what I'm saying. It's like in the premiere we had that one scene with wee Emma, and that was the only scene with wee Emma in that episode. And so this could be the same situation where there's only like one or two scenes with wee Killian, and then the rest of the episode, the rest of the flashback part of the episode is the Evil Queen Captain Hook adventure where they run into his dad and he doesn't know it's his dad because it's been 300 freaking years and he was a little kid when his dad left.
We have a question about that. Let me read it so we can continue to discuss it. Anonymous wants to know, what's the point of having an episode about Hook's dad, young Hook, also Emma not being the Dark Swan anymore, if it's going to be taken over about Regina once again?
Yeah, there's writers are bullshitters.
No, they have to set up a way to get into 5B. So something involving his dad, whether it's his dad or something that his dad is doing or something has to evolve into that arc.
Yeah, you don't introduce a surprise new character in the last episode.
Right, I mean,
before the show goes off for a few months. Without assuming that character is gonna not it because last year at the end of 4A.
They did the Queens of Darkness. They had a flashback of the Queens of Darkness.
Yes,
and it was a Belle and Rumple flashback, but with the Queens of Darkness. This is a Killian Regina flashback with Papa Hook.
But I don't think the Queens of Darkness and the Queens of Darkness came in 4B. So if they're going to introduce Papa Jones at the end of 5A, better believe he's going to come back into 5B.
What I think, and I was just looking it up before this podcast, but I was trying to piece together, like, where would this adventure take place, because I think I brought that up last week. And I think what might happen is we know that in the episode where Hook and Regina meet in the Evil Queen back in the flashback, she gives him the hat, and the hat goes to a world where you can open all those doors.
Yes.
So I think Killian jumps in the hat and without Regina, and he goes to another door before he goes to Chorus Door, to the Wonderland. Or, so he...
But he jumped through that.
He couldn't do that. He had the dead body with him.
He can leave the dead body in the Hall of Doors.
No, we saw him going through the
You can't do that.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. You have
Why not?
However many people go in is the same amount that comes out.
But he didn't come out. No, if you jump in the hat, you're in a hallway full of doors or whatever like that. So he can leave the body outside those doors, go through a door, come out the door, grab the body, then go into Wonderland.
But that doesn't explain why Regina is in that. Why Lana would have been on set that day if it was just.
But why
But
would
in the
he go?
same
Why
episode,
would
it
he
has
go
to be.
anywhere else? That makes no sense. Why would he
Well,
go
no, this
anywhere
doesn't make
else?
any sense at all. But I'm trying to figure it out.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I keep saying. That when it comes to the Hook-related parts of their mythology, they're continually fudging crap because they realize, oh shit, we need to fit these things in. And remember, this is the same writing staff who added in the random, let's have Snowing steal Maleficent's kid. So they're not above fudging stuff to
And they're
fit
not
in
above
a bit of the
doing
story that they
something that
didn't
makes
anticipate.
Regina look
The
better.
only
I just think that's the way they're going to get there is that hat. That hat has, it opens all the doors or whatever.
But
So
we don't know that Papa Hook isn't in the Enchanted Forest. We don't know where he is.
the only time frame that I can see this occurring is after Cora and Killian come back from Wonderland, and Cora,
because Regina didn't cast a curse right away. She was close to it, so there could have been a few days in there.
Regina is going to cast the curse. She and Hook escaped that little area, but before Cora puts the protective barrier over them to protect them from the curse, because like you said, Regina didn't cast it right away. There was a little bit of time in between that. We don't know how much time. So anything could have happened between those two events. Mm-hmm. So I can only assume that whatever adventure happened between Regina and Hook had to occur shortly before she cast the curse. Maybe Cora sent him over there to find out more about the curse, when she was going to cast it, what she was going to do, and then maybe that's when they decided, and if he accidentally came. But as for saying that he wouldn't recognize his father because he hadn't seen him since he was a child, no, I don't buy that for a second.
300 years. 300 years,
don't buy
Lisa.
It. Don't buy it.
What? I don't buy it.
Okay, wait. It depends. It really does depend on how young Killian was when he left. Because I know I don't remember shit from when I was 3, 4, 5 years old, okay?
Yes,
you have, vague recollections, but you don't remember faces.
But
from when you were 3, 4, 5. So if he was really young when his dad left, and it's been 300 years, and he's been through a whole bunch of shit and been in Neverland, and God knows whatever else has happened to him in 300 years, I can totally see a scenario where he meets this guy who's the same age his dad was when he left, and he doesn't remember what he looks like.
Yep.
I don't buy it.
I don't have any trouble thinking that.
When you've been through what Killian has been through, and you're abandoned like that by the only parental figure that you have left in such a traumatic way. I mean, Killian the way he spoke of it to Bay was as if it had happened. Was it as if it had only happened not 300 years ago, but maybe only a few years ago.
At that point, it had only been 20 years.
But it's still very vivid in his. He still speaks of Liam as if Liam's death happened just the day prior. I mean, those memories are still vivid.
But he spent more time with Liam.
Yes.
But still, that's that kind of trauma. Being abandoned by a parent is not something that you just forget.
I do believe
he doesn't forget it. He remembers what it felt like. He doesn't remember
but he might
what the
not
guy
remember
looks
the
like.
face. I mean, the face might be blurry. It
really depends on...
He can barely see the face. He can...
It can go either way.
The way I'm thinking is, and I think the way Michelle is thinking, is that maybe he remembers the big outline of his dad, but he doesn't remember the specifics of his face.
No,
so
and another...
Wouldn't recognize him.
You know another reason why I think this is an adventure where he doesn't know it's his dad? Because that's what happened to Emma. Emma interacted with her parents for months without knowing they were her parents because
she never
the curse.
Fucking met them.
But that's what I'm saying. They want to do the parallel. They want to do the parallel of interacting with your parents and not knowing they're your parents, and then you meet them as an adult and you're like, holy shit, what do I do now? My parent is the same age as me. oh my god. And they can't do that if he remembers what he looks like.
Yep.
So
I'd
if
like
they
to
want
add
him
something.
not to remember, he won't remember. Period. Because the writers make the rules.
Maybe that's why he's wearing the wig, because he changed his hair.
There you go.
Well,
So
what
does
would you want to
anyone-
ask?
But
So
then
does
they
anyone
need to
think-
explain how the hell he managed to
Lisa,
survive.
let Rose speak.
He's immortal.
Please
Keep saying this.
Seriously, the guy who tried to speak for the last 10 minutes.
But then they need to
let's let
explain.
everyone speak, please. Ro.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Barbara.
So, are we thinking that Mr. Jones is somehow connected to the underworld?
Yes.
Has to be.
Well, they need
'Cause
to
why
explain,
would they bring it up?
They need to explain how the hell he managed to survive for 300 years.
I think they're gonna explain.
He's
I think
immortal.
they're gonna explain why. Because if you looked at Adam's tweet, he's like, "Well, abandonment is such a strong word."
Exactly.
So I think he was not. He didn't mean to abandon his sons. I think he was forced to abandon his sons, and I like that. That's fine.
That's
a
again.
good story.
It's
That's
another.
a good story.
It's a parallel to Emma.
Yeah, it is a parallel.
Snow and Charming were
give
forced
me
to
it
give her
all.
up for her own good,
So
and that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what happened with Papa Jones.
I think we're going to have the scene of Killian and Little Lem and whatever, and he's leaving his sons, and we're going to see this figure that's telling him to leave his son.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's Hades or Davy Jones or whoever, I don't care.
That's why I think
Okay.
that's why I have my theory about him possibly being Charon, the dude who's just the ferryman to the underworld, and that he bailed, and Hades was pissed, and then Hades found him in the mortal world and said, "Hey, if you don't come back and do your job, I'm going to haul your sons to the
And that
underworld."
would be an accurate use of Hades. That actually would be an accurate use of Hades. Because that's you going against what normally works. So, like I said, Hades is a good guy and normally okay when you pay your dues and when you do what you're told. What you're supposed to do. Like if you stop preparing the souls, which is a really necessary job, and very necessary to his kingdom, he's gonna be pissed. So.
Well, I think once the Dark One curse is gone and those swords are the dagger and the sword are conjoined, and Emma's not dark anymore. It looks like there's no Dark One, so I think that just opens hell to the dark people that they're finally free or whatever. Something with that sword.
It puts the world out of balance because they're supposed to be light and dark.
It's like Buffy, where in season 7, where if the first evil came and it's because she lives again and stuff like that. There was a catalyst that caused this damnation, this whole evil to come.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it's a little bit like Buffy.
Well, the only thing about Papa Jones we know for sure is that his name is not Davy, David, or anything close to David.
Yeah.
According to IMDb, his name is
I wouldn't go by that.
Yeah, but IMDb
Get this, Brennan.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's just a rumor.
How would they know that?
Exactly.
I have no
IMDb is good for looking up where you first saw an actor, but you're not supposed to really trust IMDb.
No, because it's anybody can edit IMDb, so no. And in fact, if his name is Brennan, that could just be the name he's using in the mortal world, and it's not his real name anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, he could pull in a son where he's like, I'm a blacksmith. No, I'm a pirate.
Exactly.
I would hope it's not, because I'm like, really, Brennan? Because that was a real stretch, wasn't it? Seriously?
Okay, we have a last question, and I want Ro to answer this question first, so listen carefully. Okay, Hooked on Killian for Life 28 wants to know, what do you guys think of all the theories going around about Emma and Killian possibly being the king and queen of Camelot? Do you think it's really something that could really happen? Or do you think it could be too good to be true? I just hope people don't get their hopes up too high. What do you guys think? Ro, what do you think?
I don't see it. I really don't. Sorry.
Okay. Here's the
It's too
thing.
much. It's overkill.
I can see them kind of being like the leaders in Storybrooke. Like, if this means leaders in Storybrooke, I can see it. But here's the thing, I don't want... Killian technically is already a king, because Emma is the heir to the kingdom, to Snowwind's kingdom, and to Ysing's kingdom, and to George's kingdom, technically. So he's the queen's consort, so he's technically a king. So
Okay.
they're already queen and king. So
here's what I think. I think if they do something like that, it'll be more symbolic that, hey,
yeah,
you united the sword, you're technically the proper rulers or whatever, and they both say thanks but no thanks. We've got our life and we're happy. And it might not even be that. It might just be, symbolic. And I don't care.
I mean, what the Camelot needs is not like a king or a queen or whatever based off of a stupid prophecy. They need someone that can lead. I think that's what they need. That's the problem they already had. It's about a prophecy, and look what you got. You got Arthur, a crappy king who believed in this prophecy.
Like Lancelot said, Camelot already has a warrior leader.
Guinevere.
Yeah, so I think Guinevere is going to be your next queen, and
I mean, that's fine for when clearly the Camelot people are not staying; they're going back to wherever. So if Guinevere wants to be the queen there, that's fine. But if Grumpy in 5B makes a joke about Emma and Killian being king and queen of Camelot, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, go ahead, make a joke about it. I don't care, but for them
not
to be
in actuality, it's not going to actually happen.
No,
they're not going to go to Camelot and rule. That would be stupid.
Not only that, but the way that Killian views royalty, with
he doesn't
Charming being the only exception.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And
his princess.
No, he already made the argument that their home is Storybrooke. That's where they're gonna stay. That's where they're gonna be.
And here's the thing. Okay, here is from Fandom Boy's message. Killian is perfectly fine the way he is. He doesn't need another hand. He doesn't need to be king to be awesome. He's a pirate. And yes, some people don't like that. Even CS fans, some people don't like that. So what? I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck. He's a pirate. He's good at it. He likes being a pirate.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be royalty to be worthy of Emma, guys. That's what it comes down to. He's worthy of Emma as he is.
And it's very ableist for you to think so. I'm sorry.
Yeah, why would you want him to change? He's fine the way he is.
She loves him exactly as he is. I love in 5A we continuously see her holding his hook, him holding her with his hook, with his hook arm. She doesn't see the hook as a hook. She just sees it as a part of him. And
remember the first date? She didn't even notice the hook was gone.
Yeah. She was dancing with the hook, pretty much. She was like...
No, but in the first date, last season, she didn't even notice. She was like, wait.
She was off.
It was Knowing Charming who noticed he had two hands.
Because she was too busy looking at his pretty face.
Exactly.
But they are each other's home. They are happy wherever the other one is, and that's it. Period. If that's Storybrooke, if that's Enchanted Forest, wherever the fuck it is, as long as Emma's there, he's happy.
Mhm.
Whatever.
Emma and Charming and
I wonder what's going to happen to Violet.
Oh dear.
Well, we don't have to worry about her dying.
Yeah, she was seen filming the other day, and we know that Glenn and Joanna, they're done filming now, I guess. So I guess they left through the door, or whatever,
Well, no, I think because there wasn't Dark Swan in that scene. I bet that's the scene that's the last scene before they come to Storybrooke. I bet that's
what are your
first
intentions
scene.
with my son?
Well, now that Henry's the author, he can travel to different realms, so he could go see her, take a weekend.
He broke the pen.
But
remember that was the whole issue.
What's the point of that whole story if he's not? I mean, he's the author still.
No, he wrote the pen. The point of that whole story was trying to make Regina look better. That was the point.
I don't know. Then
Merlin
why did
can just
Henry
make him look
tell?
better.
I don't know. Then why did Henry tell Violet he's an author?
Because he's trying to impress her.
Yes.
I don't.
He's a teenage boy trying to impress a girl. Come on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they bring that back to the story some way. I think they could.
But it's likely
that wasn't really well received, and it was all about Regina, and making Regina look better. So.
Well, yeah. It also had a side thing where Henry has a part of this fairy tale land part 2 where he's an author.
The likely reason that it's heartbreaking is because obviously she has to go home, so he can't really be with her.
Yeah, but they said the heartbreaking episode is tomorrow.
That's heartbreaking for different reasons.
I don't think it has to do with that.
The relationship with Violet and Henry, it's probably heartbreaking because she has to go back home and he can't be with her.
Yeah. I mean, I think the heartbreaking thing that happens tomorrow might have to do with Violet, where because we have the sneak peek where Henry shows up and says, he wants Emma to help him bring back a happy ending for his friend. $10 who the friend is, and that goes like horribly wrong or something, and Emma wants.
But he does at the end. He gets to the
horse
with horse. So maybe the heartbreaking thing is that Emma realizes that he doesn't do it because he wants to hang out with her. He does it so everyone else has the opportunity to get in her house and try to find Excalibur. So she feels betrayed by him too after Hook.
But they did say
I loved you like 2 episodes ago, and then even Harry betrays her. So
but they did say that she was going to use love as a weapon on Henry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Regina looks kind of ticked off when Emma shows up at her house.
Well, she has the dream catcher, so I'm wondering if Regina actually sees some memories, not all memories, but just a portion of memories that make it look bad for Emma. Like there's
likely,
but because they did it, it would be a parallel for season 2 where they were looking in the dream catcher again and they saw Regina, who was Cora, killing Archie. And it makes her look bad. It's the same parallel.
Okay.
What I'm trying to figure out is why the hell they're having this damn block party in the middle of all this mess.
They are not. I mean, the town is having it. It's not like I'm
gonna
because it was planned. Because it was planned from before everyone came back from Camelot like 2 days ago. So they had already planned everything, paid for everything, and I mean, there's no reason for everyone else to stop living. I mean, if no one charming had planned it, I would say, what the hell are you doing? But it's everyone else doing it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the Camelot people.
Okay.
Probably.
I just hate that they're like doing this party with Arthur and they're not siding with Emma. I mean, he's going to take advantage of this situation, like try to like
Archie
say.
But Archie doesn't have his memories either, so he doesn't know Emma's the dark one. He knows.
Well, he
does
know.
Yes, I thought about it and I was like, wait, no.
Okay, so I think that's everything for today. This was a really long podcast, so I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.
Well, just one more thing.
Yes.
One more thing.
One more thing, like Steve Jobs said. One more thing.
Fair Night was perfect.
What?
What?
Fair Night. That's the ship name for Lancelot and Guinevere. They were perfect.
Oh.
Okay, you should. I didn't know they even had a ship name.
And it's kind of hard to take Emma as a villain seriously when we have a shady fuck like Arthur running around.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
But I
mean,
love
she's
his
obviously she's trying to defeat him. He's the real villain, not her.
Yep.
And if she has to embrace this darkness to save everyone, that's just her being the savior, only in a different way. And everyone will see that she was right in the end.
Emma's always right.
Okay, so if does anyone else have one more thing?
I need Merlin, like impression. I need to see his sexy face again. Okay.
I hope he shows up in Storybrooke. I
Huh.
hope that's a surprise.
No more Merlin mentions. I need to see Merlin.
He's coming.
Okay.
He's coming.
Merlin is coming. Okay, so that was all. So thank you everyone for listening and bye.
Bye.
Bye.